Hi, hello. Welcome to Educators with Oil podcast. Yes, we've gone back to that name, Educators with Oil podcast. It took a lot of going back and forth before I said when I had Trey and when I had Trey on, when I had the men teachers on, we decided I was going to go back to the Educators with Oil podcast and leave it with that. That's my logo. That's the same thing. So just welcome to Educators with Oil podcast, where Christian educators come together to inspire, grow, and thrive in our teaching journey. In this episode, I'm going to let you know what's the reason behind the rebranding. I want to rebrand it. There's a few things I want to do with the rebranding. And then also, as I rebrand, there's a few aspects that I want to work on, and I'm excited. I just last week I tried it, and then because it's a rebrand and going back to the Christian uh podcast for teachers, there were things that were happening and I got distracted. And so it won't happen again, or if it does, I'll be prepared for it and I'll know how to handle and what to do. So again, welcome to Educators with Oil podcast, where we are empowering teachers to inspire, lead, and to thrive, because that's what we want to do. We want to thrive. We want to thrive in everything that we do, and especially our teaching. How we do that is by being our authentic selves, going into what we should be doing, what feels right to us, being led by being led by you know our spirit, as opposed to just being led, tossed to and fro by what is happening in our lives. Um, that's just something I wanted to talk about. I too, with the rebranding, it is just going back to where I was. It's not even really rebranding. It's iterating where I was. We're going to discover, how to transform ourselves, provide fresh faith-based perspective on teaching, the classroom management, personal development, all grounded where in those biblical principles. We all have that, those biblical principles embedded in us. And it's just something that we need to understand what it is, why it is, and how it works for us. We just want to make sure that who we are, where we are, is where we want to be if we're heading in that direction. So sometimes we get caught up in some things, and then things are not taking us to our rightful destination. Things are not even taking us where we are trying to go. That's what's funny, because we said we have these things that we want to do, and then we're headed in a whole opposite direction. We're trying to please people or trying to be like somebody else. We never have to do that. We never have to try to be, because you can't be somebody else. The only person you could be is you. And it's just, that's where we need to be, period. We don't need to be trying to find, I'm trying to do some things at the same time, do a few things at the same time. And that's that happens sometimes when you are working by yourself. You're not having an assistant yet. Sometimes we're doing these things, period. Let me see one more thing, and then I'm gonna be ready. And power educators. Okay, so here I go. Just so that people will know where I am, what I'm doing. I am so ready. And okay, so the reason that this I'm deciding to go back to the grassroots, because I didn't feel authentic. It felt like this person did that, they expanded, I can do the same thing. Then at the same time, I see other people going back, even though that didn't drive me. What drove me was it wasn't working like I thought it should. I wasn't doing what I should. So the shifting is specifically to Christian educators as my target audience. I think that's a profound statement, going back to Christian educators, where we are working in a world that doesn't really accept us. We are working in a world where we need to move and maneuver and be that light in our classrooms, in our personal lives and professional lives. So trying to just make something for everyone, it doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. So here we go. So I just wanted to have, you know, those Christian values, keep the same Christian values, let faith play a critical role in where I am and what I'm doing. That is just something else that I want to do. Oh, I left my phone. I hope it doesn't ring. I know I'm doing a lot. I just don't want to be doing a lot, but I just don't want my phone to ring while I'm on here. So also, let me see. One more thing. Let me click on YouTube really fast. I hope it doesn't. Uh, hope it doesn't talk. Uh, May really fast. I'm talking about rebranding, and then I'm doing some stuff that brand. Okay, all right. See, there I go. Let me close that out. Okay. So can I open up WhatsApp? Um, I don't know. So I am over here. Let me see where I am. Uh, Live book read. Add this. Oh, I don't know if I could do it. What's it? Book read. Click on here. There I go. Okay, so I'm just there. Okay, I'm done. Sorry about that. That's what I'm talking about, doing too much, right? So I'm back to where I am, and just knowing who we are will direct us in everything that we do. And I'm sometimes we don't have to point out to other people who we are, because what happens is people will I don't know what's going on with my shirt. I just feel lopsided or something. So what happens? People will label you and criticize you according to what you say, because they act like, people sometimes act like, just because you're a human, you're a person, that you can't be who you want to be in Christ. Like I say I'm following Christ, I make a mistake or do something, people pinpoint, oh, you did this, you did that. But just remember that faith plays a role in everything, because we are learning and growing every day. Every day is a new day. We have a new day to start over. And this is where we are in Education with Oil. We're starting fresh all over again. Today's a new day. Why can't we start over? I want to make sure that we understand what the role of faith is in our classroom. Do we go talk to our students about Christ and Jesus? No. Do we run down our co-workers about Jesus? No. We let our light shine by who we are. I went through I don't say some of the toughest things. I went through some challenges the last couple of weeks. And it was a lot. At first, I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated for a week. No, for about a week, really frustrated with things happening on my job, just frustrated. And I was letting people know, I had to let people know things, right, that were happening. But at the same time, um, I didn't want to be that, hey, Che, how are you? I didn't want to be sounding like a complainer, because I'm not a complainer. I just had to let you know this is happening so you won't have these expectations, right? So things that we do with uh in our job, letting our light shine, we still have to recognize and remember who we are. We have to go back to that same spot. So this podcast is going back and remembering who we are, where we are, why we are here. The reason we came here in the first place, it was to help teachers, especially teachers of faith. So how could I just leave that, even though, I say uh things about God and about God's direction, but that's not what it was for. That's not what we're here for. We're here for Christian educators. Let us know we have a space and that we have a job to do And what is our job? We need inspiration from each other. We need direction. We need to motivate each other, because even though we are that, we still have the same secular job, and we're going to, and things happen. So what are we going to do about it? That's you. Everybody knows that's my thing. What are you going to do, right? But what are you going to do about? What are you going to do about the things that happen? For instance, everybody knows. I don't know if everybody knows this, but teachers need the internet now more than ever. You remember back in the day, you were teaching, you didn't even touch the internet. You didn't go on the internet for anything. Maybe you began to show slides, or maybe you had pages that you wanted to show. Then it became videos, then it became lessons. All now everything is internet based. I didn't have internet for 2 weeks. Today I still don't. I have, it could go in and come out. This is 2 weeks and then a day. So imagine trying to do your job, right? So I'm working and I'm trying to get that thing together, and I don't have internet. Everything I click on doesn't work. I can't do social studies, science. I made science work today. I had no internet. Social studies, forget about that. I was frustrated. And then I was thinking, like, people are looking at me. People are watching. People are listening to what I'm saying. People know what I'm presenting, but then what am I really presenting? Am I really presenting this light? Am I really, when challenges come, how am I behaving? There's a teacher, my principal didn't even know she had the same problem I had. She didn't even know. The reason I told her, this is my reasoning. The reason I told her was because I could not do what I needed to do. And I wanted her to understand, when you're looking for this, I'm not able to do that. We had testing, all this stuff. So I don't know what it was looking like, but it could look like I was complaining. But no, I was just letting my requests be known, right? That's what we do. We let our request be known, right? You just let it be known to God. But my principal needs to know I can't access what she needs me to access. I can't test these students. And so I thought about it. I was like, what do I look like? What do I look like? What am I showing? What am I presenting for these people? What am I presenting in front of everybody? Am I presenting Christ? Am I presenting a light? I had to check myself and look. And then I still had to come to work and do what I needed to do, which was my job, and educate the students no matter what happened, no matter what I came about. So I had to be retrospective. I had to look inside and I had to see, okay, could you have handled this better? Could you done this better? Now you're not getting the results you want. You're not getting results you feel that you need. So how are you going to make this work? So I had to dig into my arsenal, say this is what the students need to learn. They need to learn doubles. They need to learn near doubles, right? They need to learn even in odd numbers. How am I going to do this without this video, without the lesson? And then go into that book and make it work together. So I had to figure it out and I had to do it. That's what I had to do. Science, I had to go in today and get to my science. We need science. We need to learn how to investigate, how to observe things. Students need to know that. They need to know why. What are they looking for? Are there any changes? All that kind of stuff. So what are you going to do? You don't have that video with the lady teaching it, right? What are you going to do? You got to figure it out. So this is what I had to do. I had to go in and into myself, and then it's just things like that. And we think that's just being a teacher, but no, it goes beyond that, of who we are, our inner person. Why are we here? What are we doing? What is the reasoning behind what we're doing? So that's just something I had to do. And so I had to regroup and I wanted to go to school rebranded. People look at me and say, she's something different about her. Or she's back to her old self, right? She's back to her old self. How does this work? So I had to go in, with that smile, letting people know, no, I still, you see me smiling, but no, I still don't have internet, but I'm getting this thing done, right? I know I don't have what I need, but I'm still going to get it done. My students are not going to leave my class without the objective being made. And what's my objective? Teach students learning. How do I do that? we have to not look at what people, I know I said I looked at how am I presenting myself, but we have to still know who we are and look at who we are and who we want to be, who we plan to be, and work from there, work on that. And not, you know, is somebody looking at me? Is somebody looking at me? Am I trying to make them see something that's not there? Am I trying to prove a point? That we talked about that before. That's talking about working through ego. We don't want to work at ego, trying to prove a point, trying to make a point like this is what I can do, because I've done that. I taught and I murdered it. I slam dunked this school year, not last year. I can say year before, right? It was a slam dunk, right? I did that thing, and I was trying to prove a point that this could be done if you follow this curriculum to the letter. You could get it done, right? You can make your students are going to learn, they're going to excel, all that stuff. But that was really ego driven. So now I want to work from, we say God is love. I want to be love driven. What am I here to give? What do I have to give? And I have to give my experience. I have to give, I have not only my experience, I have, let me see. I have more. I forgot what I was going to say. Okay. What do I have to give? I have to educate my students. I have these curriculums that I have to give. I'm working from a giving standpoint. What can I give to my students? What can I show my students? I can educate my students. I can show them how to read, how to write. We're going through something socio-emotional learning every morning. And so one of the questions was, why do you go to school? What is the purpose of going to school? And I let my students, 2 classes, come up with why they go to school. What is the purpose? And they came up with our little statement is in our classroom. My purpose for going to school is to learn to read and write and to make friends. That's why they're there. That's why they say they're there. And it's absolutely true. You're in 2nd grade. You go to school to learn to read, learn to write, and make friends. So what is my job as a teacher, as a Christian teacher? I teach them how to do that. I teach them how to read. I teach them how to write. I teach them how to make friends. So we're talking about being leaders in the school. What do we do if somebody needs somebody to talk to? Somebody is sitting alone and not playing. All that is things that the educators can teach and instill in those students. Students sometimes they don't know how to make friends, how to be nice to people. I saw some kids, they were last year. I had these boys, they go outside at lunch every day. These kids come in hurt from recess. Why are you hurt? Because we were playing this game. What do you mean you were playing a game and you're hurt? How is that? Why are you getting hurt? You're not playing the right kind of game. So we have to teach them how to play, how to make friends, and how to stay friends. Because even though I had a student, also 2 students, they were friends basically, but the one didn't know how to be friends with the other. He would pick, and she didn't like it, but he was her friend. Like, he was our friend for real. He didn't know how to be that. That's something that we can instill in our students, showing them. One thing we're talking about is how to greet each other. Not just me when I greet you in a classroom, greet your friends this way. We say good morning. I call them by their name. Yesterday, I say good morning. I didn't call one particular girl's name. She said, you didn't say my name. I don't know if she thought I forgot her name. It just was like things happening. And okay, how are you doing today? And that's what she noticed, that I didn't say her name. People want to hear their names. So things that we can teach our students, right? And then we want to shape this rebranding too of ourselves, not only just rebranding educators with oil, but rebranding myself. So it's professional and personal. And professional was this podcast, and personal because I can't do it professionally unless I rebrand personally, because I am me. I take me wherever I go. So I have to shape. I want to shape how people perceive me, and my teaching and identity and my mission. Even though it's not for them, but they will notice it, and then they will be drawn to it, and they will say, "What is she doing?" Right? then they'll come to the podcast. What are you doing? I'm learning how to be a better version of me. That's what's happening here. Learning how to be a better version of me, how to walk in my mission statement of inspiring, educators, inspiring us to teach and thrive. How can I teach you how to thrive if I'm not thriving? I have to be thriving everywhere I go, because like I said, I go wherever I go. So if I'm thriving here, I have to be thriving there. Not saying things don't happen and things don't come about, but at the same time, I have to be a thriving individual, and then I want to align this podcast with my faith. I want to align everything I do with my faith. So people will say, I see something there. And that way they will be drawn to who? The creator, right? They'll be drawn to God just based off what I'm doing. And so I don't want to be coming across like I'm pushy, but I want to walk in that light so people could say, I like what she's doing here. I like what she's presenting us. So that means we have to be authentic. We have to be authentic. Being authentic is being yourself and everything. Don't be pretending to be something. Be that, or let it go. If you can't be it, I know we talk about pretending until we make it and stuff, and walk in who we want to be. We could do that, but it has to be authentic. It has to be authentic. It has to be natural. If it's authentic, it'll be natural. So let's do what it is that comes easy to us. And once you do something, whatever it is that comes easy to you, you don't have to worry about being a pretender, being somebody who is, what do we call that? What do people call that? When they say you don't believe you're supposed to be there, an imposter. You don't want to feel, you won't feel like an imposter. You won't feel like this is imposter syndrome. I'm pretending I'm something. It's not that. We are here ready to work on who we want to be, who we aspire to be, and it's authentic. And so you won't feel, because guess what? We have the experience, we have the knowledge, we have the wisdom, we have everything that we need to walk in it. The only thing that's stopping us is us. So stand in who you are, know who you are, and walk in it. So it won't even be, it could be rebranding, but it won't even be rebranding. It will be you just in your authentic self. And then everything will flow from that. And that's where I am right now. I'm ready for everything to flow from that, period. My authentic self. So that means I'm going to go into my classroom, go into my home, go into my thought life, my journaling or whatever I'm doing, and evaluate my philosophy, my goals, and guess what? My image, what I want people to see, and why. Why do I want people to see that? It's only for out of love, because I want to give. I want to give you everything that I have to give, and then walk in that. That's what we're here for, to bless other people. We're not here just to be we're not here to just to be working. I'm going to the job and I'm pushing through. I'm making it. People are saying so much. People are like, "How you doing?" Well, I'm hanging in there. No, we shouldn't have to hang in there. We should just live. Just live. So walk in that authentic self. Evaluate, like I said, your philosophy. Identify the areas, and that's what I'm doing in this rebranding. Identifying the areas, that align with my faith. What is it? Okay, this podcast is based on faith, biblical strategies, right? What else is aligned? Me giving, coming here every single week, every day, every week at 6:00 on Tuesday to give what it is I have to give, to share what it is I have to share. Integrating these biblical principles into my teaching style and my public persona. Period. Nothing else. I'm not asking for anything. Not saying I never will, but because I do have a new community that I've begun, and I kept that. That is going to be Empowered Educators with Ronnette Branham. That's a community, and I want to work with that community and let us thrive as educators But this podcast, what is it? The public persona. I want to be who I say I am and walk in it, and then updating my professional material. I have a lot of updating to do. Last week I tried to pull this up. I had to delete that video because it's not what I wanted to give. I didn't want to give that. I was distracted by going someplace, right? Then I was in my car. Then the Instagram didn't go live like this is going live. It should have. It didn't, because it told me to go and click on the Instagram and click live. I did, but it was live over there on my iPad, which it didn't work. I don't know how that was. I think maybe I was supposed to open it in the same place, on the same computer. I don't know if it's going to share the camera. I don't know. It's supposed to push through from here. Did it? So you saw the side of my face. You saw me trying to figure it out. I didn't want to give that out. That just wasn't what the rebranding should be. I wanted to present how, as people say, united front. I wanted you to see this is the new me. But then it's going back to trying to figure it out in the midst of it. That's not a good rebranding. That was so funny because it was ironic. Like, you're trying to rebrand, you're trying to be better, and you're just distributing trash. I call it trash. It shouldn't have been aired, but it was live. That was crazy. So I had to let that go. And then you want the impact. I want the impact of this rebranded Christian educator, myself, my persona, me, and this podcast. I wanted to have positive outcomes. Being a faith-driven teacher, inspiring students, creating a nurtured environment, and modeling what Christ-like behavior. That's where I want to be, and that's how I want to. And you know what else? We have to watch our thoughts. Because our thoughts lead what we say. So we have to watch our thought. What are we thinking about? We're thinking about things that we shouldn't. Thinking about, oh, how do they perceive me? I look like I look fake. I look like I don't belong here. Or I thought like I can't do this, or things like that. You can't think like that. You have to think like God is in me, so I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do everything. If I plan to make this thing work, I can do that. Period. I can do it. And there's no reason that I can't. So what's the problem here? What's the problem? So we have to, let our impact be what we want it to be with those positive outcomes. So we want to do this rebranding not only for our classrooms, but also for opportunities. When I say we, I'm talking about Educators with Oil, for leadership, speaking, advocacy. We want to advocate for teachers who don't know how to use their voice or don't know what to say. We want to inspire teacher with the wisdom that comes from the Bible, period. The Bible says, if you lack wisdom, ask God, who gives it willingly. He gives us wisdom. All you got to do is ask. And also, speaking, people will invite you to talk about what you do, what we do, and be a leader, doing things that help others and help guide others, because sometimes people don't know what to do, what to say. But when we have somebody who is there doing it, then we're like, oh, that's all I had to do. I just had to say that, and then I could get what I want. I remember I worked with some teachers, and one teacher, she was saying, Ronnette gets anything she wants. She was trying to insinuate something else, but it wasn't even that. She said, Ronnette gets whatever she wants, whatever she asks for, she gets. And then I said, my response was, you don't ask for anything. The worst your boss or whoever or somebody could say is no. I mean, ask for what you want, and then you will have that. Period. You don't have to worry about is somebody getting preferential treatment. No, ask and it shall be given. That's what my Bible says. And knock and the door will be open. Seek and you will find. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something. If I want something, I ask for it. Period. So don't get upset. Don't get upset. You know how people say don't get upset. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You don't even have to hate the game. Follow the laws of the game. Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you shall find. Period. That's how things work. We were worried about who's getting this and who's getting that. I watch people now. I'm in communities where people are prospering so hard, and I'm like, well, this is I need to do this. Like, how could these people? And it's not even how, because they're giving me everything they have, and all I have to do is walk in it. So this is part of it, walking in it, walking in who I am, and who I am with Christ, who I am in the classroom, who I am every right here in this house, like walk in it. God gave you wisdom, like he gave you strategies. And this is what we do, offer strategies. And so how am I a strategy list? I can't be strategy list, right? And I'm offering strategies. No, I have strategies, and man, we're reading a book. It's is it called 6 Months to? I don't ask me the book. I don't even know. I can't even figure it right now. But this is one of the best books I've read. The last book was really great. Talked about being a storyteller, telling stories, being story worthy, when you're talking to people and you have a story, or you're speaking and giving a speech and you have stories to tell, make sure that they all are geared around a 5-second thing that happened, and if you listen to stories or you watch movies, you'll see a lot of movies. There's a movie, I don't know, it's called 7 Pounds. This is my favorite example. I thought about this example when I was talking about this book with my book club. And so it is surrounded around an accident, and then it's like 2 5-second things, and it's surrounded around the Will Smith getting bit by a jellyfish and getting in the pool, in the bathtub, to be bit by a jellyfish. It just was around that. Everything that happened was surrounded around those 5 seconds, which was awesome. So that is like when you're telling the story, don't be so long-winded. Make the story be effective by surrounding around a 5-second thing that happened in your life, and then have a meaningful point behind it. So that was a great book. And then the next book that we're reading right now is telling us how to maneuver through. I don't know how to say it. People act, when you start talking about money, people get weird, right? It's how to make $1 million. Go right straight to your first $1 million, making that. And so in a certain amount of time, can you do it? How can you do it? And so it's what what you're selling. And then it's not even more of that, it's more about your brand. If you have a brand, then you have something to sell off of that brand. So the brand is not your logo. This is not my brand. This is my logo. My brand is me and my logo, and everything that I embodies me, and I walk in that. So that's my brand. And so once people connect with your brand and you have something to offer that's beneficial to them, then you will have something to sell. You have something to sell, and people will buy it. So it's based off that, but it's strategies and things that I'm getting out in my community. And so I know too, this is something else. Challenges of rebranding. There's challenges. Oh my God, you just see the challenges that I had since I decided to regroup, and go back to, that right there, right? It was like, you're not even that. You're having a hard time with that. Who do you think you are? Look at you. Look what you did. Like, things were stressful. And I was like, I wasn't acting up, but I did say some things, but that was something different. That was something different. My sugar level was dropped down to who knows what. And I don't know how to fix that. I have to fix that. Because I wasn't eating that much. So you just have to watch. And this is another thing. This is called educators with oil, right? So where's the oil? People are like, take that oil with you. And people at the beginning, they were misunderstanding. They think it's like taking that anointing oil, that olive oil, taking it with you, anointing everything. It's not that, because the oil is the spirit of God, and it's right here. So you take him wherever you go. But it's not. It's more than that. It's not only acknowledging, but understanding who you're walking with and who's with you. So that's a challenge when people are watching for that, ready to be critical. So then you walk in and you keep walking in it, and then there's nothing to criticize after that. You keep on walking in who you are, being your authentic self, walking with God, walking with that oil, and then there's nothing to criticize. So that is one thing. So don't have fear of what people are going to say. Don't have doubt that you can do what it is God sent you to do. He sent me to teach, period. I don't doubt that I can do that because I have all the experience. The only thing that can stop me is me, by doubting and having fear and having external pressures, all that. But no, he gave me who I am, walking it. I'm not going to fail. If I fail, it's me because I did it. Just know that in yourself. If you don't execute in the classroom, okay, I say, like me, I didn't have internet. I still could have taught. I didn't have to teach the way it was given, but I still could have did, like I did my math, like I did my science today. I knocked that I knocked that thing out, but I had to, because what am I going to do? 2 weeks and then some, still no internet. That doesn't work. When everything is internet based, you have to figure it out. And people are not ready. People are not ready to give you what you need. Some things, these challenges, these pressures, these external pressures, sometimes they're there to make you have to go maneuver around them. So in order to be and walk in who you're supposed to be, sometimes you have to say, oh, I see you. I see you. You're in my way. But guess what? I'm going to walk around you. I'm going to go around you. I'm going to go around this trial, I'm going to go around this pressure, because we can do that. We can do it. I'm telling you, I did it. And also navigating professional boundaries while staying rooted in faith-based identity. Again, same thing. We have professional boundaries. This is what you can do. This is what you can say. But that does not stop you from being who you are. It doesn't. Being that authentic you, nothing, no professional boundary stops you from being who you are, because you are who you are. You go wherever you go every day. I'm not saying you walk in, hey, I'm a Christian, I'm God driven and all this stuff. No, just be who you are. You don't have to even say anything. People can see it. People can see it. They see something different. So then what is my action, my action? What is the action that I'm asking you? So I'm asking you, as this is me rebranding, my ask for you is to do the same thing. Take the steps toward aligning your personal and professional life with your faith. Period. That's for wherever you go. Take the step, align your faith, your professional life, and your personal life with your faith. That makes life so much easier. If you're a child of the Most High, you're doing this thing, walk in that. Let everything align with it. That means you're going to be an awesome teacher. You're going to be an excellent teacher. You're going to be an excellent educator, administrator, union leader, union rep, whatever it is that you do in education or in your family or in whatever. And you let it align with your faith, because it'll work. And then also, I'm looking for you to come into, if you're on Facebook, if you're on follow, follow, like and share me on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. Look for me, follow me, engage with me. So, but one thing that I have on Facebook is my Empowered Educators with Ronnette Branham group. Look for me, join, and let's come together and build a community, share insight, share wisdom, share direction, inspire each other, motivate each other, share anything that's happening that we can help other people with. If you have a video that you want to show, if you have a video of yourself, if you want to say something, say it to inspire somebody, say it to motivate somebody, say it to lift somebody up. That's my ask of you. That's my call to action of you, right? And so just remember that we are here aligning with our purpose and our passion. And I say we are one. Educators. Oh, I have to change that. Educators with oil. Educators with Oil. Ronnette Branham presents Educators with Oil. I'm looking at myself on the monitor, and I said, "Ooh, I just noticed where it says Empower Educators with Ronnette Branham." Still, that's the last time you're gonna see that. Oh no, you're gonna see it in Facebook because that's the name of the group, right? So we don't want to be challenged. We want the reason too is my demographic has shifted in my classroom, caused me to have a fresh approach. So this is what we do when we look at things that we want to change. Look at what's happening and come back with a fresh new look on things. Then I noticed too. This is a reason that I changed. I had my notes kind of screwy. I noticed that the podcast didn't have the original spark that it had prior, even though I have more viewers, but it didn't have the same spark. I remember the some of them who was really that were really Christian, biblical based. People were excited about. So I want to go back to that. I want to the shift away from my core mission. It didn't fit right. And so I'm returning to my roots, realigning my podcast with the original intent. So realigning passion to refocus on my target audience, who is Christian educators who need inspiration, guidance, and a community. We're going to build this community. So rebranding both professionally and personally is a way for me to recalibrate and ensure that everything I do, whether in the classroom or through this podcast, reflects my purpose. The purpose that I'm here. Why am I here? And that is to support Christian educators. So that is something. Let me see one more thing. I don't even want to see. I don't want to miss anything that I had to say. Oh yeah, some of my recent challenges as a teacher, the only thing that could get me through is prayer. Like really, really. So that pushed me to incorporate faith based perseverance and innovative problem solving. I had, just like I just told you, I had to get down to the nitty gritty, but it had to be like innovative, and it had to be faith based. You can do it. That grit. You got this, girl. Go ahead and do it. God gave you the strength. He gave you the wisdom. He gave you the insight. You got this. You can do this. So that pushed me. So if I have to go back to that, just to think, to do what it is I need to do, why not stay there? Why not stay there? Stay there. This is where you should be. Stay there, right? So that is what it is. And then it's about growth. It's about growth also. It's about growth. My growth, my students' growth, my community's growth. We want to grow. It's about staying authentic to who I am as a teacher, while continuously evolving to ensure my methods, mindsets, and message align with my commitment to effective, compassionate, and faith-driven education. We know that's what it is I'm trying to do, and that rebranding helped me grow. It's helping me grow. I'm just using it. So I'm not even go back on any challenges to this. I have let me find. I have something that I wanted to say really quick. This is it. So this is one thing, just to go back. You have to believe in yourself. If you want to reinvent yourself, you have to believe in yourself. So believe in yourself that you could do anything, believe in yourself, period. Use old stories, things that happen, show you that you made it through this, you made it through that. God took you through this, He gonna take you through that, right? So don't compare yourself to other people, because how can you compare yourself to other people? That's not you, that's not your life, you're not them. So just think about that. Because that is a trap. Looking at somebody else's direction, looking at somebody else's goals, saying, look at them, and I'm not where they are. You're not them. How are you going to be where they are? You're right here. You're in you. So walk in that, and just know that everything that you're doing is directed. God is ordering your steps, period. So overcome those obstacles, embrace your individuality. That's just something I wanted to say, because sometimes we think, I can't do what she does or he does. And it's not even about that. It's about you being who you are called to be, your authentic self, walking with the Spirit of God, period. That is just who it is. So I just want to say thank you again for joining. I want you to like, share, and subscribe. If you're just here, you just came across, like, share, and subscribe. Share it with somebody. If you know a teacher, you may have saw my name, and then you're like, let me click on that. You may have saw something said educated with oil. You didn't understand. Then you saw me, and you're like, oh, I'm not an educator, but I know something. So share it with them. Join our community, Empowered Educators with Ronnette Branham, over there on Facebook. That is something that I'm excited about. So join us over there, right? And if you, I don't care what it is, we could put prayer requests, anything. We could put you need a strategy for something. You want to know some insight in how to maneuver something. You want to know what is the wise way to answer this situation. So here we are. That's what I'm looking forward to us. I'm looking forward to us moving in that. I'm moving this mouse around, trying to oh, that's beyond that. Okay, so I want again to thank you for tuning in and liking and sharing and subscribing. I am so excited. I'm looking forward to more subscribers. I'm looking forward to more communication with my subscribers. I want to come to the point where we are an active community. And again, thank you for joining me, where we are here to create a vibrant community, offering wisdom and strategies for effective teaching. Thank you again. I am Ronnette Branham, your hostess of Educators with Oil. Thank you and have a blessed rest of your day.